Well, the park bench is getting closer to being done. I have now got the iron back and the two sides painted up. And I went with a dark green to kind of try to match the other lawn furniture out here. And then I took those two 1x6x8 planks of cedar and first I cut them in half so they were 4 foot long, and then I ripped them up the middle so they were only 3 inches wide. I did that with 3 of the planks. And then the third plank I used to cut that curved top out of. I used cedar, but it wasn't a very colorful cedar, so I added some cedar stain to them. I now have the first coats of spar varnish on. I used a speed bit to drill out the holes about halfway into each one, and then I used a smaller bit to drill out the center hole for each one where the bolt will go through. And here's the curved piece. I used a rounding bit for all the edges like this on my router, and of course, like I say, then I went on ahead and stained them and varnished them. Now I'll come back out. Right now it's about 8:30 in the evening. I'll come out here about 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning, and sand them down a little bit, lightly sand them, and put on the second coat of varnish. And hopefully about 11:30, 12 o'clock tomorrow, Friday, I'll put the third coat of varnish on. Then maybe by about 8 o'clock tomorrow night, 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow night, I'll be able to start assembling the thing, getting it all back together. And I'll be glad to be shut of that stuff too, because the garage is a mess and a half. I've got the 2 old radios shoved back there, one behind the other. Pieces of scrap wood, different kinds of tools and whatnot all scattered about. I can finally now get rid of that old wood. I need to find something to use as the centerpiece. The centerpiece on this one broke in two. I suppose I can use it broken in two for a little while until I can find something to put up the middle of the bench there. But that's the way things stand right now. The deck's still looking good on the top. It's staying clean now. And since there aren't any more helicopter seeds falling out of the sky or anything, I think after I get this done, I'm going to have to start trimming these forsythia bushes, though. They're getting kind of wild and woolly. I dug up last spring of last year, I dug up 3 rows of Sharons. And I planted them over here, and they were just about, each was about maybe 6 inches tall. I thought, well, if one of them survives, I'll be lucky. Well, all 3 of them have survived, and I guess I'm going to have to dig a couple of them up and try to move them. Otherwise, I'm going to have a great big mess of rows of Sharon right there. That forsythia there, it's getting a little woolly too. The 2 forsythia Down on this end, I cut completely down. They were just all but dead. But now if you look, they're growing up again. You can't entirely kill this stuff. It's just about impossible to kill forsythia. You can cut it all the way down to the ground and the shit will start coming right back up again. Hydrangea, not hydrangeas. Here the hostas are just massively sized. My hydrangeas are starting to come out a little bit. A couple of them still have pinkish looking blooms, but most of them have went from the first year when they were all pink. Now I don't know if it's because they're maturing or the acidity of the soil has changed or what, but now they're all starting to get blue. It's just a pleasant Thursday evening here in Canton, Indiana. This is Gary, signing off.